working for most of the game too, and then
unfortunately, you don't get paid out for that. You only get paid out if they're covering at the end.
You got a little bit of respect.
And we all took Seton Hall, and you took Butler, went in person, and watched your own loss. It's humiliating.
It was rough.
Are we going to the Big East tournament?
We are live, by the way. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you all had a good Tuesday night. I had a solid one. I had a winning night. Wasn't an explosive night. Yeah, the under in the Hornets-Bucks game is really what put me into the green. Other than that, I was pretty break-even. Got the Pelicans, got the Mavs. Max Strus, though, 65, 70-footer to win. I had Mavs money line at plus 166. That would have made it a great night, but still, finishing the green. So, yeah, we got 12 games lined up to go through. 12 games. I ran a poll. Who will have the best record against the spread tonight? Winner is me. 35% of you said Kyle would have.
Kiss asses.
Seriously.
Second place was Toast at 26%. Third place, Scoop. Dead last, Andy. Just 14% of you said Andy will have the best record against the spread.
Okay.
First game up. First game up is Missouri plus 12.5. Florida minus 12.5. Starting in the SEC. Andy, would you take the 12.5 points here?
I feel like I kind of have to, and this one's tough because I had Florida on Saturday against Vanderbilt. I bet it, and they barely didn't cover. They have a tendency late in games, if they're winning by a lot, they're not going to cover. They are a team that is blowing leads but still winning the game. They did it against Georgia earlier in the year. They did it against Vanderbilt. They've done it against Kentucky. They've done it against almost did it against Auburn. They are a team that will get the lead, but they just can't finish it off and cover. Multiple times have been beat by them, so I got to go with Missouri. I also think Missouri, as bad as they've been, they are really they're playing pretty tight in a lot of these games. They almost beat Tennessee in that game. So I think just because you mix the fact that Missouri's playing tough and Florida just isn't finishing off games well enough to cover this type of number, yeah, I got to go Missouri.
Some people are saying the audio skipping. Just quit out and come back in because it's saying excellent connection on my end.
Me?
No, not you. The people. It says the audio's cutting in and out. I guess just give it a second. It says my connection to YouTube says excellent connection. So maybe quit out and come back in. It's the only suggestion I have. Let's go to let's bring Scoop up next. Do you agree with the Missouri pick?
No, I think this game's going to be a blowout. Missouri might go winless in this conference, which is pretty impressive. But they're 0-14. They've only covered 3 of those. In the beginning of the season, I thought Florida would be an average team, but they've really shown they can hang with the big teams, especially at home. I think this game's going to go the way like Nova and Georgetown last night. Florida's the top rebounding team in the country against a team that can't rebound whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised to see Florida having 15 or 20 more shots this game with their second chance opportunities and all the fouls that Missouri commits. Missouri just doesn't do anything well, which you can probably imagine just looking at their record. The way Pullen, Samuel, Clayton, they're all playing, they're all shooting well. I can't see anything but a 20-point win. I know the Gators are 0-2 as double-digit favorites, 11 to LSU, 15 to Vanderbilt, but I think they should easily take care of Missouri at home.
All right, so Scoop likes Florida. That's the wrong side. Toast, MIZZOU?
Wrong side for me as well. Throw up them Gators. I hate to do it. I hate Todd Golden, but the fact of the matter is these two teams played in Missouri. Florida won 79-67, and I think since that game, Florida's only gotten better. Florida's playing really good basketball right now. 7-2 their last 9 with wins over Auburn, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Like Scoop said, the rebounding edge is just huge for Florida. So I just don't see how Missouri stays in this game. They're like Scoop said, they've one win in their last 14 or 0-14 their last 14 games. So they're just dead to me. So I'll take Florida in a blowout as well.
I'm down to side with Andy. 13 points with the Gators? Hell no. Florida is not that good. I know Missouri's bad. We're talking about laying 13 points. It better be a prime SEC team. I would lay maybe 13 with Auburn against the Missouri, Tennessee, but not Florida. So, yeah, Missouri for me. I'm with Andy. Poll is leaning towards Florida, though. 44%, 36% in favor of the Gators. Next. Someone said toast been ice cold. Haven't you had like 7 out of 8 winning days in the last
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's like red hot right now.
maybe not on the show, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was garbage for a long time, but
Yeah, you start off the season bad. All right, Auburn on the road at Tennessee. I'm leading Auburn here, but someone told me that Auburn's has a big injury.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been nice to have in my notes last night when I made the video, Andy. Just saying.
Look, all right, no. The way that college basketball works is you rarely get those injury updates. All that I had heard prior to that was that he was traveling with the team. When I hear that, good chance you're playing. So I don't know. For this game specifically, I love Auburn. I think people still keep looking at their loss to Florida when they go on the road. That game was very bad, but it was a bad spot overall for them. Since then, they hit 14 3-pointers on the road last week. They are still a really good team on the road. They lost to Alabama and Mississippi State on the road earlier in the year. They would have covered this number. I think Tennessee's about as good as Alabama is, and they would have covered against them. Auburn's a really good team. Obviously, the health issue, we'll see what happens. Has they announced he's not playing yet? Toast?
Judging by the YouTube comments,
I don't see an announcement. He didn't play last game. I have a hard time believing he plays today.
Yeah.
so probably not playing.
Yeah.
Changes it a little bit, but I'll still side Auburn.
Yeah, I gave out Auburn on the video yesterday, but I mean, I'm still putting up Auburn for myself, but it's not just the injury. It's also the line movement. This morning at 6 a.m., this was at 5.5, then 6.5. Now it's at 7.5 on some books. Line movement clearly pointing towards Tennessee, and Auburn's looking like a public dog. I'm not betting this, to be honest. So it'd be Auburn or pass for me, but most likely just a pass. Toast?
Yeah, you pretty much said the same thing I was about to say. Do I think that Jalen Williams is – I mean, this Ken Palm has this game at 3. I don't think that Jalen Williams is worth 3.5 points. I don't think any player is worth 3.5 points. But at the same time, Auburn being a public dog, Tennessee – I just don't really trust this Tennessee team like that. I've been burnt by them a couple times, and I'm just not really there to go chase the steam with this team either. So I'd lean Auburn as well, but I didn't bet it either.
Yeah, it definitely feels super square. Scoop?
Yeah, I don't think Tennessee does what they did against A&M. For one, Auburn's just a way better team than them, and all these metrics are pretty even. I like Auburn here. The thing Tennessee has is home court advantage, something Auburn was struggling a little bit as an away team, but they're really not that bad on the road. They only had that 4-point loss to Bama, 6 to Mississippi State. They beat Ole Miss and Georgia away. They can definitely keep this game close. I know they have a solid defense, but Auburn can really score too with Broom and Williams. Auburn's defense can really mess with Dalton Connect. I think if they shut them down, I think they can win this game outright. Especially with Tennessee giving 21 free throws a game, Auburn's going to get to the line a lot. I think Auburn keeps this game close.
Tiny look-ahead spot for Tennessee with Alabama on deck as well.
Yeah. So this is definitely looking like a pretty square pick here. Auburn +7, but I can't get to Tennessee, but I probably won't be betting this. This A&M complained that the network's so square. Then right underneath it goes, Auburn +7's a gift. Motherfuckers are stupid, yo. Providence on the road at Marquette. All right.
Getting one of these.
All right. So 11.5 is where this line is. All right. We got Scoop up first. Big East. Would you lay the 11.5 points here?
Yeah, I'm going to lay 11.5. 7 of the last 11 games for Marquette was by blowout fashion. Providence winning this would obviously boost their resume significantly, but no, I don't. I know their team held Marquette to 57 the last time they played, but that was at home. I mean, they average 85 points a game at home. Collect, Cam Jones all got better since that game all the way back in December. They're 13-1 at home. They're shooting great as a team, especially from 3. They're top 25 offense and defense efficiency, plus they're going to want revenge for that game. Not to mention, Providence makes their way on defense. They're not a great offensive team, and that defense gets really bad on the road. So I'm laying the 11.5 with Marquette.
I'm going with I don't know if you guys watched my video yesterday. I want to take Providence because I actually think their defense is equipped to give Marquette problems, but I cannot rely on Providence to go on the road here and score points. So this sucks. The reason I'm scared of this under is these two teams actually play at a pretty decent pace, which really could kill the under. But as far as the matchups on the court, I like the matchups for both defenses, and I think both defenses show up in this one. So as much as I would love to take Providence plus 11.5, I can't. I do like the under, however. It was at 149.5 when I was recording the video last night, so it looks like it moved up a half point or a full point on some books. But, yeah, I would go under here, and I kind of like this one. Just a little scared of the pace, that's all. Toast?
Yeah, I agree with Scoop here. I would really, really like to play Providence here on the road. I mean, ATS-wise, I mean, you touched on it on your video. Very good on the road as far as ATS-wise. And Providence has been doing that back to the Cooley days. I understand that Kim English is a new coach and stuff, but they've been playing well. But I am a Marquette apologist, so I didn't bet this because I really do think they're one of the better teams in the country. And not to mention they have Creighton, or Marquette has Creighton on deck as well, which – and then right after that, they have UConn. So I can see this as maybe like a sleepy, like be ready for these next 2 games type spot. Just win this game and move on for Marquette. But I just can't get to Providence, especially with that line movement too. Like it was open 10.5. Everybody's on Providence. Now it's up to 11.5. So I think the books like Marquette as well.
2 picks for Marquette. Andy?
Yeah, I tried to get there with Providence, but I mean, I see the Publix. A lot of them are on Providence. They're popular today, but I couldn't get there. I don't know where they're gonna score. That's the only problem. Like, I think obviously Marquette's good in both facets of the game. They're one of the better. They're one of the only teams that are great at on both sides of the floor. But Providence is really only their defense, and like that's not always gonna work when you're on the road. So I think Marquette should drill them pretty bad today. Don't know if I don't know because the look ahead spot is a good point, but I don't know. Marquette doesn't seem like a team capable of looking ahead to their games.
All 3 of you taking Marquette. That makes me want to bet Providence, honestly, just as an FU to you guys, because I actually think they could cover this, but
Dude,
I'm sticking on my under.
You almost hit your Cincinnati bet yesterday too. Like it really wasn't that far off.
No, they were hanging like in between 12 and 15 points back for most of the game, and then at the end, it looks like they had a shot at making a run. They did cover.
Brought it within 6 at one point, I think.
43%, 40% in favor of Marquette. So there are some people in the community betting Providence. I don't hate a Providence bet here at all. Man, can't stop coughing. Next up, Louisville at Duke. We got.
I laughed when I saw this one on the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. This line is at 20. Toast, would you lay 20 points here?
Not really. I'm not really trying to lay 20 points. I would maybe look Duke first half off a loss, but it's just 20 points is just a lot for me. I understand how bad Louisville is. They just lost by 22 to Notre Dame. But I think this is the biggest game of their schedule, obviously. They didn't play terrible against Duke last time, 83-69. I mean, again, they wasn't close to winning, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't 20 points. Duke, obviously, at home now, so that changes things a little bit, but I'm not in love with it. I would lean Louisville, but there's no way in hell I'd bet it personally.
You would lean Louisville? It's
Louisville? How do you call
Louisville.
Louisville.
It's Oregon.
Louisville is the correct side here, 20.5. Get the hell out of here. Money line, Toast?
Yeah. I'll put $50 on it if you put 100.
I will. That ass, I'll do it.
I know you will. That's why I'm getting my book out.
All right, Scoop, would you lay the 20?
Yeah, when you're in the 20s for spreads, it's kind of hard, especially if it's close down the stretch.
Oh, it's kind of hard? It's kind of hard when it gets up to 20?
Gets harder.
It gets harder. It gets harder when you get up to 20 points.
Yeah, close meaning Louisville losing by 20 tends to go to underdogs' way since teams like Duke usually has their second unit in. I'm still going to take Duke. I think Phil Paskin is still going to be in the ICU in critical condition for that humongous hit he took from a fan
isn't
in
he
the
playing?
game.
He's playing.
He's playing, yes.
I really hope he's better. He didn't do it himself. He tried to trip the kid, stuck his leg out, tried to push him, but whatever. It's why the general public can't stand Duke. They're whiny babies, but they're quality basketball whiny babies. So Duke should be able to clean up here. Louisville gave up on the season. They lost to Duke at 14 at home. They're going to get destroyed here.
Louisville gave up on the season before they played a game.
Scoop laying 20.5 points here with a dude with a broken leg.
I'm just glad he's out of the hospital.
Are you on Louisville, Andy?
Yeah, I can't.
They're begging us to take Louisville here with this number.
I want it. Honestly, it's one of those spots I kind of wanted to get to Duke because, like, I do see there is a world where I see them winning by like 30 and everybody's shutting the hell up about this court storming stuff. But I don't want to lay 20.5 with anybody, especially. I don't know if Filipowski's going to be 100%. He might be, but I doubt it. So if your best player is not 100%, I don't see you winning by 21.
We're all taking the bait, taking the points. Gio Nonando says, fade Kirm, you win every time, LOL. So if you're looking for someone really sharp, really smart to follow, I'd suggest going for him.
Your name, though?
Homie with the big feet says it's Thomas Jefferson night at Duke, so it's over.
Tom, is he from there?
Why does that even? How did that even?
I don't know why they'd be honoring.
Why is it Thomas Jefferson night? Poll is 46%, Louisville 25% Duke. So we're all taking the points here. Next up,
I'm not taking the points.
Yeah, well, the opinions that matter on the show are taking.
Last two shows, I'm 2-0 against you guys. So top of the board.
1-0-1.
1-0-1. I forgot I tied Andy.
Yeah. Maryland -5.5 pass. Scoop, would you take the points with the Northwestern Wildcats here?
Yeah, give me Northwestern on the road here, and Boo Booey to lead me to the promised land. I think Northwestern's a little better than the bubble right now, but they really need to close this year out strong. Northwestern's extremely solid from three, even on the road. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league, actually. Lamborg, Barry, Boo Booey all shoot over 40% on the year from three. They're a very good free throw shooting team. Barnheiser's been really solid down low, too. I know Maryland has one of the best defenses in the league, but their offense looks terrible all season. Besides Jameer Young and Julian Reese, who leads this team in pretty much every offensive category, they don't have anything else that can really keep up with the team that's hitting shots as well as Northwestern. So, yeah, give me the points on the road for sure.
I completely agree with you. Northwestern, it is +5.5, or I thought I saw it down to 5. It must have just moved. Let me check real quick. Northwestern 5.5. Oh, so you can still get 5.5. 5.5 and 5. So I'm on Northwestern. Andy?
This line's very weird. When I first saw it, I was like, "What the heck?" Laying 5.5 with a bad offense at home. I would still side Northwestern. I definitely don't love that because there is a world where I could see them not really scoring much because they are very reliant on Boo Booey. And if you stop him from shooting threes, you're pretty good. But I just think the number it's way too high for Maryland because they are not a particularly great team, and Northwestern's fighting for a tournament spot here. So I think this is a good spot for them to keep it at least close, maybe even win on the road. So.
Really? Are we all going to be on Northwestern here? Toast?
No, I could tell Toast is on Maryland.
No, I didn't lay the 5.5. I played money line with Maryland, but either way, I just think that, Boo Booey's really good, but if they can figure out a way to stop him, that's really all Northwestern has now that Ty Berry's not going to be playing in this game. So I understand how bad Maryland is offensively, but also Northwestern defensively doesn't really scare me at all. So I feel like Maryland should be able to put up some points here. And then Maryland defensively, the best in the conference. There's no question about that. They defend the 3-point very well. They defend the twos very well. Obviously, everywhere defensively, they're fine. So neither team shoots free throws very well either. So that doesn't really scare me. I also think that Maryland can match up with them experience-wise. And they're a little bit bigger than Northwestern too. So I don't love the fact that the world's on them and it's -5.5. But Northwestern on the road for me is just not where I want to be at.
The world isn't on them in this community. Northwestern won the poll pretty convincingly here. And I like this Maryland team, but I don't like laying points with them. I like their defense, so I like them to grind out close wins. I'm on Northwestern here. Poll is 56%, 33% in favor of Northwestern. So community definitely leaning towards Northwestern there. Next, Cal on the road to play the Buffs. +11. Oh, I misspelled that. Colorado -11 pass. Poll is running. Cast your votes. All right, Toast. You're up first. What do you got?
I'll take Cal plus. I got 11.5, 11 now, whatever. Look, Cal's been playing actually some really good basketball over the last couple weeks. They had a road loss against Arizona. They came back, beat Arizona State, UCLA. They lost to UCLA at home, lost to Washington State on the road, but that's not bad. Then 3 straight wins against Washington, Oregon, and Oregon State. Not to mention the fact that Colorado's not going to be fully healthy. Cody Williams and Julian Hammond both didn't practice. They're questionable tonight. If neither one of them don't play, that takes up takes off a lot from the Colorado offense. So as much as Colorado is good at home, I think this is just a little bit too many points here. So I'm more than comfortable taking 11 with Cal.
I don't know if I'm missing something with this line. I thought this would be at like 7. Why is it so high?
You know we're a Cal program.
I know. I'm obviously I'm leaning Cal too, but I don't understand why it's 11. Colorado hasn't been that.
Ken Palm has it at 11.
Yeah,
Colorado. Is that where
really
Ken Palm has it? Oh, Ken Palm has it at 11.
Hey, I'm on Colorado.
Oh, you know what? Let Andy come up here and talk about Colorado then. We have
Colorado. If you look at them on the road, yeah, maybe this would be like a 5-6 game. At home, they're one of the best teams in the Pac-12. So, like, I'm completely on them at home here. I think Cal nowhere near as good on the road. Colorado great at home. Like, I think that's a pretty simple home-away split. That's the reason.
You're laying 11 points.
I love it. Yeah, I am. And Ken Palm told me to.
Oh, because Ken Palm told you to. All right. Scoop, you're on Cal, right?
Oh, yeah. Andy wasn't part of the Cal movement in the Discord. I think that's the problem. Cal won by 4 at home last time they played. They really haven't been that bad in Pac-12 play. They beat Oregon. Sorry, I'm trying to learn. UCLA, Colorado once, Washington State. Not only that, but they have nice road wins against UCLA, Arizona State with the great Bobby Hurley, Washington. I expect Colorado to win probably, but not cover. Amik is great inside. He's a great down-low presence for Cal, something Colorado doesn't really have, something they can't match up with well. I don't really think they can have someone that can cover him or out-muscle him on the inside. Colorado's guards are better, sure, but Jalen Tysons has been a beast lately for Cal. I think he can go toe-to-toe with KJ Simpson personally. Cohen as the other guard can definitely stay on top of Hadley. The way Cal's playing, I feel like they're a bit undervalued here. Call me crazy, but I'm going to sprinkle a money line bet too on Cal. This is my favorite bet of the day, so I'm going to take Cal.
Scoop's got a good record with his favorite bet.
Did you hear what Scoop said? He said a team that's 11-point favorites. He goes, they should win probably, and then says he's going to take the money line again.
But probably, I mean, yeah,
he said he likes the value because he likes the value.
-11 is probably going to win a money line.
Probably going to win.
Yeah,
probably.
Go to Ken Palm and see how the defense is doing or something.
Yeah, he's playing the value in that money line payout. I like it.
Did you ever disrespect Ken Palm?
46%, 36% in favor of Cal. Cal wins the poll. Next. Oklahoma at Iowa State. All right, Toast. Big 12. This number is now up. Number is now up to double digits. It's at 10. I don't know if you guys watched my video I uploaded last night. I think this number is super inflated. I don't think there's a 10-point gap between these two teams, but I actually think Iowa State matches up really well with Oklahoma. So the only way I would go here is Iowa State minus the 10, but I don't even like it. The number's inflated, so it sucks that we're getting Iowa State at a shitty price. But I don't see many avenues for Oklahoma staying in this game. So be Iowa State minus the point surpass for me. Toast?
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Oklahoma, I mean, let's just go with Iowa State really quick. I mean, playing really good basketball, obviously. Their only loss since February was Houston and Baylor, two very good teams. And then the other loss was BYU on the road. So a little bit of a revenge spot here for this Iowa State team, too. They went into Norman and lost 71-63 or something like that. So nice little revenge spot. I will say that it does worry me a little with Oklahoma. I was trying to get there, but they got Houston on deck, and I don't really love that spot for them. So yeah, I lean Iowa State. I didn't bet it because I think I missed a better number, but yeah, there's no way I can get to Oklahoma here.
Andy?
Usually I'd pick a side for every game, but this one I couldn't lay 9.5 here, so I just went with the under. I think this will be like a 60-50 type game, and we're looking at 136, so I like the under more than I like either side. I would never lay this number with either of these teams. I don't think Oklahoma is very good, and I don't think Iowa State's good enough to cover this number.
So under, all right. Scoop?
Yeah, 10 points is a lot, but I'm gonna lay the 10. The buzzer beater saved Oklahoma's ass against OK State.
Wow, none of us are on Oklahoma.
I mean, Oklahoma's a pretty solid team, but Iowa State's elite right now. I know they lost their Big 12 opener in Oklahoma, but that's when Oklahoma wasn't reeling. Gilbert and Lipsy fouled out of that game for Iowa State, and they were frustrated. But it's a revenge game, man. Iowa State's only loss in the last 6 games was against the greatest team of all time, Houston, so you can't fault them for that. Oklahoma just isn't the same team from earlier this season. They're 4-5 their last 9. McCollum's just playing okay. Is nothing special. Plus, I think Gilbert and Lipsey's going to have a better game than they did against West Virginia. So I would take Iowa State here.
Yo, stop saying I'll subscribe and donate $20. Like, dude, we don't care about your $20 fucking dollars. I had to mute the other guy from doing it, so I don't want to mute accounts on here. I don't like doing that. But stop typing the same fucking thing over and over again, spam in the chat. 63%, 24% in favor of Iowa State. So really nobody likes Oklahoma here. Man, I thought Oklahoma would be kind of a public dog. And maybe it is, but we're not seeing it in here.
They're coming off needing a buzzer beater to beat Oklahoma State on the road. I have a hard time.
I know,
they're going to
but
keep this one
it's
close,
the Big 12. Everyone's coming off something, you know?
That's always the way. That's
true.
what I said yesterday.
That's
Everybody
true.
always says it's the Big 12. Every conference is hard.
The Big 12, who doesn't?
Basketball's
schedule out of
hard.
Basketball's not easy.
hard.
Yeah,
So they can
basketball's
bump
not
their
easy.
net up.
All
Big
right.
12 is scared boys.
So we got South Carolina. Why did I put SCU? Is South Carolina even SCU?
No, they use USC actually.
I don't know why I put that. Must not have been thinking when I made these. So we got South Carolina on the road to Texas A&M. A&M laying 5. Andy?
Yeah, A&M's another one of those teams who, if you get them at home, it's a tough spot. If you get them on the road, you're probably going to win the game. They're not very good on the road, but at home they've been a completely different team. In SC, I think they're in a rough spot now, right? I think I had Ole Miss the other day, right? And they did win that game, but that was another. Ole Miss is another team that I'm not bought on, and I'm definitely not bought in on SC anymore. I think that run is kind of over. So I think mix that with Texas A&M just being a really good home team. I'll take A&M. I thought the number's a little bit high, so but I'd side A&M here just because I think they're just way better at home, and I'm not bought in on SC anymore. I kind of left that train. They have to prove it again, beating somebody who, I mean, they did beat Kentucky earlier in the year, but they have to beat somebody now because they lost to LSU earlier a couple weeks ago, and they just don't look like the same team. So give me A&M.
Cool. And you know what? Here's the correct pie charts. Oklahoma State, we don't have graphics for. That's why those were incorrect. But yeah, so couldn't agree more. Definitely on A&M here. A lot of action's going to come in on South Carolina at that 5. And like Andy said, South Carolina's just not playing the same quality basketball now that they were 3 weeks ago. Texas A&M's been pretty solid. They had a real nice – they beat Tennessee at home, didn't they? Outright. So
I believe, yes.
And that line, they were only catching 1.5, 2 in that line in that home game against Tennessee. That just shows you how much the odds makers respect this Texas A&M team. I'm going to lay the 5 points here. I think South Carolina's time. I think the ship has sailed on the Gamecocks. Scoop?
Yes.
No, the Cox never get enough love and care they need when talking about them. They're constantly looked down upon. They really get up and play hard. They don't exactly wow you in any particular stat, whether it's offense or defense, but they're a solid above-average team, man. And we've made so much money on South Carolina this year.
Yeah, a month ago.
No, even the last game they just played. What are you talking about?
Quit living in the past.
I'm a little concerned about the Cox ball security, but they should do enough here to stay in the game against a sliding A&M team. I mean, the Cox weren't chafed from losing 5 games on the season. They always rose up from that, and they showed that with the Ole Miss win. This same A&M team lost to Vanderbilt, Arkansas. They're cold. They're an average team themselves. I have no interest in picking them, so go Gamecocks.
All right. Toast, do you agree with Scoop's South Carolina pick?
No, I'm on A&M here.
A&M's the move here.
Yeah, so after that Tennessee game, they've lost 4 straight games. Vanderbilt and Arkansas, not really excusable, but Alabama, Tennessee, I can understand that. So I really think this is like a really huge step down in class for A&M after their last week and a half, 2 weeks. 2 weeks or so. And then if you take a look at South Carolina, who they've been playing, Mississippi, LSU, Vandy, Georgia, Mississippi. The only team that's good that they've played in the last couple of weeks is Auburn. And then they played Tennessee at the end of January. So I think this is the type of win where Texas A&M knows they have to win this if they even have a chance of dancing. So, yeah, I'm on Texas A&M as well.
They ain't dancing.
3 picks on A&M. You'll love to see it. Scoop on a South Carolina island. Going to take his loss by himself. But actually, the community agrees with Scoop. 51% to 39% in favor of South Carolina. So a lot of action coming in on South Carolina. Next game, St. John's at Butler. You guys were just talking about this game before we went live. Scoop, are you going to take the Johnnies here?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the Johnny train since Patino wears white suits again. He nails at his players. Yeah, Johnnies are gonna win out the rest of their schedule. I think beating Butler here and then finishing with Georgetown, DePaul. Butler lost 4 straight. They're ruining any chance they had of making the tournament. They might still be on the bubble, but they've been so bad. Jenkins has been hot recently for the Johnnies. He's really picked it up the last few games. Soriano's going to continue to clean up the boards, creating a ton of second chances. That's what he does. They play pretty fast. If Dingle can keep his shooting streak alive here, Butler's going to have real trouble because their offenses just look so bad lately. Pierre Brooks has really taken a hit offensively. DJ Davis hasn't been hitting his threes. And Telford pretty much doesn't exist right now. So, yeah, give me the Johnnies on the road. I'm gonna keep riding them.
Andy?
I tossed about this game a few times, but I'm going to side with Butler, the home team in the Big East game. Obviously, I like St. John's, but I was against them on Sunday. But I like St. John's, and I think they're very talented. But I think you mix it with Butler's a very good team at home, but also they've got Posh Alexander. I think that's an interesting storyline. Revenge game here. He's been playing as bad as their offense has been. He's been
the only one that's
really
doing
well.
something.
Yeah, he's the only one doing anything, and I think he'll make a lot of plays that'll make you want to smash your head against the wall, but he can also hit threes like crazy. And the team shoots a lot of threes, and I don't think St. John's is going to be able to keep up if they're hitting them. And at home, they usually hit them. So I think Butler is a side here. I'd probably just take the money line, the number. It could be a 1-point game. Yeah, isn't it a pick 'em now?
Yeah, it's a pick now.
I don't get the line here. Shouldn't Butler be laying like 3.5, 4?
Yeah.
No.
Kind of. I mean, I don't know about
way they're
3.5,
playing,
4, but at least 2.5. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Spot 2 for St. John's.
What the fuck? Why?
So,
I don't get this line.
This is confusing.
Toast?
This is confusing. I lean Johnny's. I didn't bet it. Look, Butler hasn't been playing good at all. But at the same time, look at the teams they're losing to: UConn, Marquette, Creighton, Villanova, Seton Hall. The win they had was against Providence. So playing St. John's is going to be a pretty nice step down in class for Butler being at home. Unfortunately for them, they're coached by Thad Matta, who can't get out of his own way. And I think that the Johnnies, like Scoop said, I think they can win out and possibly make a chance to get into this NCAA tournament. So I think that huge win against Creighton at home is probably going to keep them going. I also think that Butler has a little bit of trouble with dribble penetration, and that's what the Johnnies really do well. So, yeah, I take the Johnnies. I didn't bet it. I was kind of waiting to see where everybody else was on this panel. But, yeah, I Johnnies for me.
I'm going to put up Butler because I feel like based on the line that this is the right side, but I don't – this line makes it feel really square. Like it feels like I don't know. I feel like Butler's been better than St. John's. So at home, I feel like they should – I feel like you guys were saying about 2.5. I feel like this line should be about 4.5. So I don't really understand why it's so short, to be honest. So I'll put up Butler because I think based on the line, that's where the value would be. But something doesn't really feel right with that. I could see if you're on St. John's playing it sharp, just playing the weird line. Maybe I'm walking into a square one here. But, yeah, I'll put up Butler. 43%, 43%. So community is deadlocked on this one. Straight down the middle. We're split 2-2. So we gave you exactly zero.
Don't bet it.
Yeah,
don't bet it.
We gave you exactly zero insight on how to bet this game. Next. Minnesota at Illinois. Let's see what we got here. Let's run the poll. Illinois lane 11. Oh, man. The graphics wrong here. Minnesota 8. I guess I didn't do the records and the ATS records for this one. Obviously, Minnesota has an insane record against the spread, as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 23-4, I think.
I think it is 23-4.
Would you take the 11 points with a team that just keeps covering the number, Andy?
Yeah, I'm on Minnesota here. I think Illinois is really good, but they're not exactly a team I want to lay 11 points with, especially against a team that's covering pretty much every number thrown at them. Minnesota's fighting for their tournament lives. Illinois is pretty comfortably in, pretty much just trying to improve their seed, so I think that comes into play. So yeah, I like Minnesota. They're pretty good defensively too, so I think they'll be able to keep up with Illinois' pretty good defense too. So
do you not have graphics for this one?
I should.
I don't see graphics here for this one.
And I don't.
All right. So Andy's on Minnesota. We'll run through this one quickly then. Scoop?
Yeah, I'm going to keep going with Minnesota against the spread. Obviously, that took a little bit of a hit with that Nebraska game, but Illinois hasn't looked that great recently. They struggled a bit against Maryland, that awful Penn State loss, which we all saw in Iowa, where they covered by the hook in the last few seconds. Minnesota is 3-0 against the spread as double-digit dogs. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses. I think they're kind of like South Carolina, but the one thing they do is hit the three-point shot a lot. Illinois has shown their defense can definitely be taken advantage of, and Minnesota has been pretty good at limiting their opponents from inside. As long as Dawson and Garcia can stay in front of Shannon, I think Minnesota has a pretty decent matchup here. They're not going to shoot that bad like they did against Nebraska. So give me Minnesota plus 11.
Wow, it's actually at 11 and a
Plus
half
12.
now.
I think it's 12 now on DraftKings. Someone just said.
Yeah, I see 11, 11 and a half, and then I see 12s open too. On Bet Rivers has a 12 open, so it's definitely moving towards Illinois. Toast, do you have the stones to go sharp here and lay the points?
I don't. I will continue to ride Minnesota until they at least lose 2 games in a row ATS.
So you're all taking Minnesota.
I didn't take them against Nebraska because of how Nebraska plays at home, but I just don't understand how you not continue to ride I mean, it's what are they? 22-3 ATS or something crazy. 11-3 as a favorite, 9-1 their last 10, 23-4 overall ATS. So I'll take my chances.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Minnesota. I don't know. I'm not betting this because
I didn't bet it
the
either.
line is moving. I mean, there's a 12 open now to a team that's like 88% against the number. Are you crazy? Like, what? Yeah, this is a pass for me. And let's get to a game where we have graphics. 60%, 28% in favor of Minnesota. It's all right. Now we get to Alabama, Ole Miss. Alabama minus 5.5. Ole Miss plus 5.5. Actually, I know Toast has a play on this one, so let's bring him up first.
Yes, I do have a play. I will be on Ole Miss plus the 5.5. Look. Has Ole Miss been playing very good basketball?
Ole Miss.
Is that not what they are, Ole Miss?
They're Ole Miss.
OLE?
Yeah.
OLE.
Oh, I thought you said old Miss.
So either way, I just think this is a make or break a game for this team. I understand that they've lost 5 of their last 6 games and whatnot, but I do think this is kind of a down spot for Alabama in the first place coming off of that Kentucky game. I understand that they lost, but they also shot pretty well in that game. And that just takes a lot out of you. Ole Miss is in a spot right now where if they were to win and get a quad 1 win, they would probably be in the NCAA tournament. I don't expect them to win here today, but I do think that they can keep this game close. Alabama likes to limit the threes and layups, but unfortunately for them, Miss really likes to shoot that mid-range shot. So Flanagan, Morrell, Murray, all those guys should be able to go off. So I lean over as well, but I think in a desperate spot at home with Chris Beard, I'll trust that. I'll take the 5.5 with the world probably on Alabama.
Yeah, correct. Couldn't agree more. Ole Miss plus the points. The whole world taking Alabama. You can see everyone pulling on Alabama. The line still dropped from 6 to 5.5. Definitely some sharp money coming in on Ole Miss. I agree with what Toast said. Alabama's home away splits aren't quite as extreme as they were a month ago, but still, this is a team that's much more reliable at home than on the road. 5.5 is a big number in college basketball in these conference games, right with the tournament right around the corner. I'm on Ole Miss. Couldn't agree more with what Toast said. Scoop?
Yeah, Ole Miss, the Rebels have been 0-6 this season against ranked opponents. And they're on a 2-game losing streak. Super hammer, public lock bounce back here for Alabama. I love Alabama here. 6 isn't enough points for Ole Miss. They're going to come out hot here. It's still the best offense in the league. Ole Miss is just in a free fall. Murray and Morrell are trying to keep this team in games, but they've been sliding a bit about how they've been doing earlier in the season. I know Ole Miss is a solid team, but 6 points only against a very mediocre defense in Ole Miss. This is going to be a blowout in my opinion. They're not Kentucky. They can score, but not 100 plus. Even though there's questions about Alabama's overall defense, I just see Alabama running up and down the court and overwhelming them. So I'm going to side heavy with the public here. So give me that.
Scoop likes Alabama. Okay. Let's bring up Andy to finish this off here.
Yeah, I like Alabama as well. I don't think Ole Miss has. Yeah, I don't think Ole Miss has the defense to keep up with this Alabama offense. I think they'll get outscored by a lot. This is a
some bad picks. Some bad picks out here, Toast.
This is a common thing late in SEC seasons. You see I mean, Ole Miss is a team that doesn't really normally have a program. This is a spot where this is like a program making moment. They can make the tournament. And now they have the like big bad Alabama coming in. This is usually a spot where teams get crushed. This is in years past, that's been the spot. Ole Miss fell to that a few years ago too when they were pretty good. I just think this is a team that's not, as he said, not great against ranked opponents. Really not good against opponents that are superior to them in any way. They've pretty much been feasting on the bad teams on their schedule, and I see it continuing today. They should get blown out pretty badly to me.
Yeah, they should.
One other thing I forgot to mention, super sleepy spot for Bama as well. Just got done playing Kentucky, and then they have Tennessee and Florida on deck after this.
Oh, wow, it's a sandwich spot too, Andy. You didn't consider that.
They're gonna need to prove themselves.
Figure that one, did you?
Sleeping on Old Miss.
Old Miss.
Old Miss.
Old Miss is live
Ole
here.
Miss.
Old Miss.
I like the money line. 59%, 30% on Alabama. So community definitely likes the Tide. Shall we do a
Roll
community?
Tide.
Shall we do a community parlay?
We shall.
We don't have another one. I thought we had.
Oh my
Seton Hall
God,
Creighton.
Yamamoto just mowed.
Yeah,
down
we have one
right
more, don't we?
Where is Seton
We
Hall
have Seton Hall Creighton.
Where are the graphics for it?
We did it on the video, so it should definitely be there.
Let me go see if I can find the graphics. And also, we have the Oklahoma State game too.
Yeah, and UCF. Yeah.
Since you guys are Knicks fans, just so you know, your protest was denied.
No, this is Clippers.
Oh, because that mattered.
Clippers
letting you know.
Warriors.
Did you replace Seton Hall Creighton? Because we looked at it when we were before the show.
Yeah, I definitely did. Hold on, I have one more spot I could look for the graphics for this one.
I'll talk about it so you don't waste your time.
Oh, you'll talk about it? Well, thank Christ.
Shut up, Jesus.
Scoop's gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I really do want to play Seton Hall here, but I can't get there. Creighton had a tough game against St. John's where they turned the ball over way more than usual and shot way worse than usual. I'm hoping they're not looking ahead to the Marquette game next week or next game. The last time these two played, they really took advantage of Seton Hall's poor interior defense. So I see that happening again. I don't think Seton Hall's an answer for him down low. They scored 50 points in the paint last game. And even if they put an emphasis on Kalkbrenner, Trey Alexander's more than a capable scorer from outside, and Skyman's on. He can contribute from the three as well, since Seton Hall gives up a ton of threes per game. I think Kadari Richmond's a phenomenal player, but other than him, I don't think Seton Hall offense can keep up, especially if Creighton's hitting their threes.
What do you guys think about my Seton Hall team total under that I put in the video?
Yeah, I liked that one yesterday. I'm also on Creighton. This is a great look ahead spot for Seton Hall. They are going to UConn on Sunday. That is all I need to know. They are not a good road team, and now they're looking ahead to playing the number 3 in the country now? Yeah, I think they're going to get beaten pretty badly today. I'm
a little worried about the Seton Hall 3-point defense, though. I thought that was good. Those were good notes.
They are a very good defensive
Creighton's
team.
very reliant on the 3-point shot, and Seton Hall has good numbers against that shot. Toast? Seton Hall or Creighton? You're muted.
Seton Hall for me. There's no question about it for me. Creighton just isn't one. I really like this Creighton team, but I think that Doug McDermott is gone. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's gone. This team really is going to start to remind me of Cooley when they left Providence. They just got embarrassed by St. John's. I don't think they get embarrassed tonight, but I'm not in a spot to be laying multiple possessions with this team. Not to mention, like I said, Creighton has Marquette and Villanova on deck. So I think Seton Hall sitting there on the bubble getting 8.5 points. I'll take my chances with Shaheen Holloway and the boys.
You did just make a great point there.
I'm putting the under up for me, even
Thank
though
you, Andy.
it's you can't see what it is. But actually, what I really like, we don't have a graphic for it. Yeah, I said in the video last night, I like Seton Hall team total under. Was at 68.5. The reason I would lean towards Creighton, I guess, minus 8.5, but I don't want to touch that because I actually think Seton Hall's defense can give them some problems. So I think the best way to go here would be an under, or specifically Seton Hall's team total under, because on paper, Seton Hall attacks the rim a lot. Over 41% of the Seton Hall shot attempts in the last 10 come at the basket. Creighton's elite protecting the rim. So on paper, Seton Hall's going to really struggle to score points here. But like I said, I can't lay the 8.5 because, well, number one, I'm in New Jersey, so I can't bet the game. But I can't lay it because I also think Creighton might struggle to score themselves. So I would go under or Seton Hall team total under.
And just to piggyback off of Sauce's point, Seton, the Creighton defense, #1 against 2-point field goals in their conference and top 15 in the country. So they don't let anybody score inside.
Right, and this is Seton Hall, the offense that needs to score inside. All right, let's do the community parlay real quick. We got MIZZOU. Or no, I'm sorry. You guys picked Florida on that one. Florida.
You can get tickets for UCF and OK State for $1 if anyone's in the area.
Dude, I would so do that. I paid $250 for Vanderbilt Boston.
Northwestern.
Love OK State tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we had that one lined up too.
Yeah, scored 80 points last 3 games. Yeah, they're gonna.
For my mid-major freaks, Loyola, Bucknell, under 132. No Deion Perry for Loyola. That kills their offense. That boosts their defense. Under Patriot Leagues.
Somebody brought up the Army game today earlier.
Ooh, I like Army
against
+4.
American.
You like Army +4?
Yeah, I like Army. They're a pretty good team.
I don't think
home.
I ever once bet an Army basketball game.
I
You
bet
bet Navy the other day.
Yeah, I was tailing Greggy Meatballs.
Earlier in the year, I had a couple. I had them against Colgate, I think. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
I haven't looked at it a whole.
Andy, I'm betting Arizona State. Bobby Hurley is obviously the better Hurley. So
Yes. No, I wouldn't say it's the better.
What's the line on that? It's Arizona at Arizona State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 12.5, 11.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona
And
State.
it was what? What was it? Did they win by 40 that time?
45.
Yeah, and I
45.
took Arizona
Yeah.
State plus the 19.5, I think it was, in that game. So
I would take Arizona State there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Bobby's the man.
Bobby let me
Arkansas
down.
State plays basketball today too, but I can't lay 9.5 with them. But man, they're a wagon,
Arkansas State?
dude. I've been putting them on VIP for 3 weeks.
No,
They never lose.
I've seen I've seen you rooting the whole Discord rooting Arkansas State games.
Love it.
So,
What game were they?
Arkansas State.
What game were they saying they would donate $20 to hear us talk about?
Furman and something
Oh,
else.
Furman.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
that's
West
Carolina.
The guys
And I said under.
the guys were joking, and so I didn't. I had to mute the one guy because he was literally copying and pasting
Yeah.
the
I
same
saw
thing
that.
over. I don't care if like people joke around; it's cool. But the one guy was just copying and pasting the same thing over and spamming the chat. That's bad for the bad for your YouTube.
My soccer ticket's 4-0, by the way, right now. So I just want to let you know.
I can't stress
I gotta-
enough how little of
Nah.
a fuck I give about.
I gotta
that.
mention it. I'm gonna hit NASCAR for the 3rd straight week too. So
That Furman game screams West Carolina this week and then Furman next week for the conference title. So that's what that game screams to me.
I say under.
That's what it screams to you.
Battle.
can anyone in the chat tell me where
Yeah, that's
Furman
what screams
is?
to me.
Where's Furman? Can someone know without looking it up? Like
Come
what
on.
state?
Come on.
Where is it?
I know.
Yeah,
Are you
I
asking me?
don't honestly know where Furman is.
Who cares?
I'm just
It's
asking. I
in
don't
Greenville,
know.
South Carolina.
Oh, well.
Minnesota plus 11.5. Alabama, the 2 second place finishers were South Carolina moneyline and Auburn. All right, first and second place of this poll finish out the community parlay. Cast your votes. Cast your votes.
You should do like name 4 colleges and see which one's the fake one.
Is there anybody? Okay, Iowa State.
It's Marquette moneyline, Iowa State moneyline. We're off to a chalky start.
I feel like all the college ones have been chalky.
Yeah, the NBA ones are usually pretty chalky as well.
That's true. I think they're a little better odds.
JMU's in Virginia, Colgate's in New York to the person that commented that. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I know James Madison to Virginia. I've been there.
What y'all know about Longwood. All right.
Well, that's like who was it in the Discord? I didn't know where Rutgers was. They thought it was in like
Yeah.
Washington or something.
I can understand that because it's like a big school and you never hear about it.
When you talk about, you always hear about it.
Dude, they're
about-
trashing everything.
Yeah, but Division One like
hear about
college
Rutgers?
football teams
They won their
is better
bowl
than,
game.
Like,
They won their bowl
they're better
game.
than 360.
I remember the bowl game. I remember
college
the bowl game.
basketball
It was a fun
games. It's a
game.
little different.
So can we get an
Not
odds
to
on
mention
this?
they have like the number 1.
Can we get
recruiting
odds on
class
this, yo?
coming in. Shit, sorry.
We get the NBA
way
skit
behind.
show started in 11 minutes.
No one cares.
Prop Beaver.
I guarantee you they care.
Prop Beaver cares.
2 seconds.
You know, Doug Lane says I was getting recruited by James Madison in football. Close. I actually visited my friend there and got drunk for a weekend.
Too bad they weren't
same
D1
thing.
then. That'd be cool.
Oh my god, it just deleted.
Oh my God! Can
God.
someone
My
in the
goodness.
comments give me an
Christ.
odds on this?
I'm one more away. Just
Unbelievable.
relax. It's not my fault. Action is slow.
Don't use action.
What am I supposed to use?
I don't know.
275.
Ugh.
308 on DraftKings.
Scoop telling everyone not to use Action Network. I'm going to get a defamation lawsuit in the email. All right. Community parlay. Marquette moneyline, Iowa State moneyline, Alabama moneyline, Minnesota plus 11.5. Square as hell. Chalky as hell. Just how the community likes it. Plus 308 payout. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're staying for the NBA show, I will see you in about 9.5 minutes. So let me get that set up. Ski's going to be here, and Prop Ever is showing his face again. See you guys in a few minutes.
See you.